damn storm. Why can't people just leave us alone until it stops raining?
Crime doesn't wait for good weather, Amy.
Among Ashes is an upcoming survival horror meta game being developed by Ratcliffe Games. Now you may not realize what you downloaded, or you may even feel gypped upon starting the game. That's because the game's initial start is in some sort of boomer shooter. Honestly, you can just keep playing and having fun, never experiencing the horrors that lie beyond. You never need to move on from here. You can just blast demons with your boomstick. Hell, I even got all the chalices. What the fuck is the meaning of the chalices? But should you decide to continue with the rest of the demo, you'll quit out of the game and respond to your bro's email. Much like a young Mexican I know, he delivers free games. But whereas the worst he does is give me links to Epic Game Store, this guy gives you a random download link with an ominous message. I mean, I don't know which is worse for my health, but at least the latter has some showmanship. You can also stalk the character's DMs to get some fluff lore, which may come full circle and add something to the plot in the full game. The meat of the game you're playing is Nightcall. Inside this world of horror references, you are Officer Jack King, who is traveling to Stoker Manor with your partner Amy Lovecraft, all within the town of Outsmouth. Is there part of space also called Universal as well?
I'm Officer Jack King, and this is my partner, Officer Amy Lovecraft.
Well, a call of screams from the mansion has brought our officers out, and after dealing with the cute maid, the horror begins. Before we get to any of the spooks, I just want to say I enjoyed exploring the manor. That said, you won't be seeing much of it in this demo. One, because the game's lighting is very harsh, as in, if there's no light, then you are in blackness.
This isn't your average everyday darkness. This is advanced darkness.
Also, in a few cases, I fumbled down hallways and found content that I think is only solvable in the final product. It wouldn't be too bad, as I think it's intended, but Amy's eyes look like Shatner when he got possessed. Now, the getting turned around in a hallway could just be on me. However, I stand firm that the key is very easy to overlook. But I'm getting ahead of the plot. Checking in with Stoker isn't exactly fun, but now we can head out. That is until a scream from the missus takes us to the other wing of the manor. Rushing in, we find Mrs. Stoker as a corpse, but not exactly dead.
She's coming after you, Jack!
Stand down!
Amy, I know from later on you have a gun. Stop making me apologize to Shiva for calling her a bad partner. Well, this introduces us to the combat, which is fine. It's more elaborate than one would assume with survival horror. Often the melee in these games is just swinging to hopefully cause damage or just get items. Here you have a bit more going on as you ready your weapon and can block for reduced damage or swing to strike. Makes me wonder if melee will be more of a viable option compared to using firearms. Trying to find some answers, the officers rush downstairs, getting ambushed by another creature. I just want to say that I love the design of the creatures. In total, there were 3 that you see. However, 2 of them seem to be types, while the third was just the wife. One is speedier with a sort of lunge, and I think did a little less damage, while the other is the opposite. Their look with the game's overall design reminds me of Nightmare of Decay. Everything is crunchy enough to hold that PS1 retro look, but clear enough for me to identify the creatures. Also, not all your time will be spent in the game's world, as you will be required to explore the game's world. Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Why'd I put this in the fucking notes? The world of Nightcall will be progressed with your in-game computer. For example, your buddy hands you the equation of solving the only puzzle in the demo. It's randomly generated, so I wasn't able to sequence break, if you even can. Additionally, you can hop off and explore your apartment. Sometimes spooky shit will force you out, but I think you can get off whenever you wish. Soon after this, you'll find that Amy is missing, leaving her gun behind. Guess I'll take it. Not like she was using it even when she wasn't wounded. Now the gun feels fine, perhaps a little difficult to aim. One thing I noticed is that the audio has this fuzz to it that I think is meant to make it seem like it's coming over cheap speakers or mimic older horror games. I can't tell. I also can't tell if I like it or not. Either way, you might be thinking that you're ready to handle combat. For the most part, you have the means to do just that. However, as far as I could tell, the enemies never died. Perhaps I didn't down them enough, or maybe there was an execution I missed. When I downed them, they stayed there for a few minutes before rising from the dead again. One time, I was killed and I had to load a save just to witness an enemy obtain the capabilities of flight.
So, this is not the upskirt I was expecting.
Also, the saving is handled like Silent Hill 2, with each notepad having limited saves. The game never gives a specific number, but will inform when you're on the last page. The game ends on a spooky little girl, before the game ends on a spooky little girl. Why the fuck did I put that in the notes? I'm interested in seeing more of this game and exploring the locations shown off, and especially some of the creepier enemies. Maybe we'll even have a use for those chalices. You fucking hid one in acid, what do they mean?
I'm sorry, officers. Sometimes I forget about Mrs. Stoker. She's been ill for a while, you see.